Okay, the first thing I want to say here in part 3 is that I really hope that you all pay really good attention to this series of videos, and please watch parts 1. And if you're from your TikTok or YouTube, for God's sake, come to my Street Wisdom Bible page, the Witness page, Street Wisdom Bible page. Come to one of these pages on Facebook. I give a lot of information with long critical videos that are very critical to you in the time that you're in right now. Now look, today we're going to talk about powerful miracles. And I want you to share this with everyone that you can, because believe me, this is going to give you more faith than anything else in the world will. I promise you that. It's faith you need right now. You need to have faith in what's happening across the world, and you need to understand how God works in this world and who he works with, and not to fear this, not to be judgmental, not to be competitive, but to listen to the information, because it's going to help you one way or the other. Trust me, what you really need today is a confirmation. And I'm going to give you some of the most powerful confirmation on earth, fully recorded with evidence. Trust me. You've got to have faith just to go through these and listen to these, because believe me, right, it'll give you more influence on your reality than you realize. It'll give you the powerful instincts that you have to have faith in your own biological genes, to use your own natural organometrics, your biospheres, your biofields to feel. You see, my biofields are very, very sharp. That means I can feel things with codependent theories from the atmosphere. To give you an idea, okay, I'm a drug lord from the underground world, but this is the testimony of a drug lord reborn. It's self-explanatory. So I've gone through the rebirth, I've crossed over, okay? I can also tell you that I've gone through judgment, okay? I've gone through judgment, okay, and I made it. Okay, I made it. And I can honestly sit here and tell you that with authenticity. I have the most perfect DNA that's been altering through these footsteps, right? Through this transformation I've gone through. I've gone through a magnificent transformation, and that transformation was followed with DNA studies done. In that transformation, during that alteration in my DNA. And that's extraordinary. That's a powerful miracle that's happening to 1.3% of the population now in a natural selection. They're being selected naturally in their DNA and going through a transformation like a mutation, like mutating. Okay, and it's important we understand that our Y chromosome is mutating and evolving, as said by FDA and across the whole world. The Y chromosome is 2 different chromosomes, okay, two different chromosomes, and 1.3% is activating the 24th chromosome with that kind of mutation. And also their biosphere, their biofields to feel things, right? And they're getting pins and needles all over their body, dizzy spells, and all sorts of magnificent things happening that's unexplainable. It's happened to a lot of people with light, power, and energy, vibrations, and frequencies, but it's actually the quantum mechanical relationship. It's loyalty, honor, respect, morals, inspiration, and encouragement. The more you're in those vibrations, the more you're in the most positive fields with authenticity, because it's righteousness. It's a quantum mechanics of a relationship, because the meaning of life is love, okay? And that's what we have to understand. So when you're totally authentic with yourself and totally self-alert, you don't lie. You don't argue, debate, divide, and conquer and divide and cause people to stumble, but you learn to pick them back on their feet, right? You don't judge people mentally and psychologically. You help everyone you can, no matter who they are, where they come from, or what they believe in. No matter how much they suffer, even people that are evil, you walk with the enemy and work with the enemy. You love thy enemy as much as your neighbor. You try to. I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying you try. You do your best. And if it doesn't work, walk away. Don't argue, debate, and divide, and use those tools. Don't be judgmental and competitive, because it doesn't work. Trust me, I know that the hard way. It's exactly why we're teaching this, right? To use the quantum mechanical relationship that we're so disconnected from, like our families and friends all over the world, so disconnected. And that's why I'm going to go through these videos to reconnect us with a universal language, with a universal codependent fields from the atmosphere, with that kind of relationship, because it's beautiful. Trust me, it's the most magnificent thing you can go through. Sticking your head out the cave and understand the sun's a lot shining on the other side and the grass is a lot greener, and then look back in the cave and realize, my God, I was trapped in my mind and I did not know what I was doing. And that's the path I went through. I went through the meaning of life. And it's extraordinary when you learn that, okay? It's magnificent. And I don't want you to shortchange yourself and rob yourself because you're trapped in your mind too much. Don't be trapped in your mind. Don't think all the time, right? You become your own worst enemy and your mind plays 16 games with you. And that's the truth. Believe me, I know. Okay, so think outside the mind. Use your natural academic skills to feel things. Feel with your intuition. Feel with your influence on your reality. Feel in the most positive feels with love, right? And relationship. It's not that difficult, you know. It's the mind that makes it difficult. The mind is so complicated, it's got no idea. Now, I went through a lot of things in my childhood and I was rejected, okay? I was rejected. Okay, I suffered the consequences of school. I got meat punched every day by Meridian Freckles. I was rejected by my dad, right? Because they couldn't deal with the things that was going on in my life. Okay, they couldn't understand. They thought it was a freak of nature and they thought the same at school. So I sat in the bush for 6 months. I took drugs to numb myself. I couldn't cope. And a lot of drugs are called truth serums. That opens up the third eye with your different perceptions and takes you out of your mind. That's why we use drugs for mental disorders, right? Because it helps you cope in life and it takes you out of your mind with your senses, your biosenses, your biosphere. You think outside the mind, so you're not doing your head in, so you're not doing head miles, right? Because mind plays 16 games in you and you always become your worst enemy when you think too much. And that's where the truth is. So I'm going to go through a lot of miracles in this for a reason. Because you can have faith in these things. And you can have faith in your own DNA and your own biological genes to think instinctively and to think outside the mind. Like they say in the Matrix documentary, those who think instinctively tune that program. Take the red pill, you can't go back. Because you wake up from amnesia and you stick your head through the light in the tunnel. And trust me, when you stick your head through the light in the tunnel, you're on the other side. You're always going for the light in the tunnel. You always keep coming back and reincarnation straight with amnesia without even realizing it. And I'm going to give you a lot of critical information like I did in part 2. Part 2 explains to you what happens in my brother's accident in Kempsey. Why 95% of people are lost and getting one more final chance, lost in their mind. Now, I want to bring a lot of critical information to you, okay, with the most powerful miracles on earth, okay, and I want to give you that information, okay. Now, I'm going to give you my own information as well. As I just told you in part 2, my brother, a massive miracle here on the front page of paper with Dr. Wright. Incredible. Incredible, right? Absolutely mind-blowing. Now, I'm going to make a few videos about this, right, in each little segment. I'm just going to do 2-minute videos, and I hope you come back and watch all of them and find the time to watch all of them. Because believe me, what you learn from my videos and my information will teach you a lot about life that's real, genuine, and down to earth, and not full of BS. I had a bike accident when I was 18 years old, right? I was in a hurry, and I hit a car at 140 kilometers an hour. I nearly cut the car in half. The bike was wiped out, totally wiped out. And honestly, how I lived through that, I do not know. But I went over the top of the car in front of a Shell Roadhouse. And when I went over it, I could see the top of the roof. And they used to pull semi-trailers under there. Semi-trailers, big ones, loaded. And I was higher than the roof. I landed in a somersault and kept somersaulting. You know what's astonishing about this? I had a cut on my chin from the gutter rail in the car. I broke both my thumbs and I broke a left-hand foot. I was black and blue on 70% of my body and I couldn't walk for a week. I was numb everywhere, right? From rolling over like this at this kind of speed and hitting this car, this kind of power and this kind of speed. But guess what? I walked away. And no matter how you look at it, I consider this being a massive miracle, and so did a lot of other people when they saw the car and the bike. It's an incredible miracle. And I'm only telling you that for a reason, right? Because these aren't the stories I'm here to tell you. I just want to let you know I've gone through a lot of miracles in my life, and this happened by the time I was only 18. And 18, I flatlined and took a drug overdose. And I've got something to tell you about that in the next video. So pay attention and listen to all the information I've got to tell you, because it's magnificent and it's beyond your mind. And this is how things really work around here. The things we don't talk about that are basically forbidden or suppressed the most, and people trapped in their mind don't even talk about these things. That's why we're going to talk about this today. And I hope you're going to understand you can have faith in all these things because God does exist with evidence.